most of you, so some of you are from the local congregation and some of you are attending from different parts of the country. So I welcome you all for this special session on the glories of month of Purushottama Maas, which has started just today. Yeah, so you're on time. Yeah, so today we will discuss about this. What are the glories of the month of Purushottama Maas? Why is it spoken about so much? And what should we do and what we shouldn't do? Okay. So let us begin with a short prayer. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Shri Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So very good evening to you all. So today we are all assembled together to discuss about something wonderful. Just give me a moment, I'll close the door and get back. So the glories of the merciful Purushottama month. So Purushottama month is also called the Adhik Maas. Yeah. And in the Smarta Shastras, it is also called the Mala Masa. So basically, there are two types of Shastras. So one type of Shastras is called the Smarta Shastras. The other type is called the Paramarthika Shastras. So the Smarta Shastras are more focused on the karma kandas, that is activities that lead you to heavenly abodes. But Paramarthika Shastras, as the name reveals, are those scriptures which enable you to attain your ultimate goal of life. Yeah, Paramarthika, Paramartham means Parama, highest destination. Artha means the purpose or the goal. Yeah. So Paramarthika Shastras are those scriptures that will enable you to attain that highest goal of human life. And Paramarthika Shastras describe about these glories of the Purushottama mantra, Purushottama Masa, as it is described in the Naradiya Purana. So this Purushottama month, it comes once in 3 years. Actually, technically speaking, it comes after every 32 months, 16 days. Yeah, after every 32 months and 16 days and plus 4 hours of the solar calendar, the Adhik Maas comes, yeah, in a cycle. Yeah, it's cyclic. So the Smartas call it a Mala Masa, or it's actually the month during which, if you see, actually no religious rituals are performed. There are no muhurtas in this month. If you see, in this month, there will be no priest who will give you a date for, weddings or Griha Pravesh or anything. Yeah, it's also called Shunya Mas. It's called Mala Mas. Yeah, it's not fit for observing any religious rituals. So, but then it has great significance in the line of bhakti, yeah, according to the Paramarthika Shastras. So what are these glories of merciful Purushottama month? So I'll just go through. So merciful Purushottama month acts like a desire tree to fulfill a devotee's desire. This is what has been spoken by the sages of Naimisharanya. Yeah, so it's like a desire tree. So basically, it is said that the remaining months of the year, which are 12 in number, they are mostly Sakama months. Yeah. That is like they fulfill, whatever karma karmas you have, they fulfill your desires. But this Purushottama mass is akin to Nishkama. Yeah. Nishkama is, that is, it fulfills your desire for spirituality. Yeah. That is why it acts like a desire tree to fulfill the devotee's desire when observed in the right way. Originally, so I will just tell you a small history about, first I will tell you about the significance of the Purushottama mass, how important it is, and then I will tell you about the history of the Purushottama mass. And later on in the third section, I will tell you how to follow or observe the Purushottama mass. So the significance of the Purushottama mass is that, like, its glories have been enumerated in so many scriptures. And these glories have been described by Durvasa Muni, Rishi Durvasa, to none other than Draupadi in her previous births. So in previous birth, she was the daughter of the Medha Rishi. So born as his daughter, she heard these glories of the Purushottama Masa. But nonetheless, for some reason, she did not observe it. She has neglected it. So because of that, she has faced a lot of trouble in her life, in the later births as well. So when the Pandavas and Draupadi have been exiled to the forests, Lord Krishna himself meets them at the Kamyakaman, and at that place, he narrates to them about the significance of the Purushottama Mass and inspires them to observe this Purushottama Masa. Imagine Lord Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He himself recommends his dearest devotees, the Pandavas, when they are there in the forest. He told, observe this month of Purushottama, and you will regain all that you have lost and all the opulence in the world. Yeah. And not just that, you will attain all good fortune. So very, very significant. Why? This month is not recommended by somebody ordinary. Lord Krishna himself, the Supreme Lord himself, is telling his purest of devotees. Imagine Pandavas are, they are perfections. Like they have perfected their lives already. Nonetheless, Lord Krishna himself is going and recommending them. Observe the Purushottama Mass. And as recommended by Lord Krishna, the Pandavas and Draupadi strictly observed with full faith, with determination, with conviction, they observed this Purushottama month. And when they have observed this Purushottama Mass, the result was that they have completed their exile in the forest successfully, including the time period of incognito. Yeah. And after that, they have fought the war and they have won the war. And its roots are in the careful observation of the Purushottama Mass. So this is the significance, how significant it is. The significance is here is that it has been recommended by Lord Krishna himself. So a devotee or nobody can take it easy. Yeah. So that is the significance. So let me show more. So this is what to do in Purushottama Mass. Okay, that I'll tell later. So this is the pastime which I just spoke to you about. Yeah. So he narrated to them the history of the Purushottama Mass. So now I will tell you what is the history of the Purushottama Mass. So the history is like this. So once upon a time, by the arrangement of providence, an extra month came to the world. Okay. And all these months are actually personalities. Interestingly, in spiritual world, everybody is a personality. Seasons are a personality. Yeah. Like for us, wind is just, an element. But in the heavens, Vayu is a person. He's a demigod. He's a devata. Right. And fire for us is an element. Yeah. That's our understanding to these material senses. But fire, Agni Deva, there is a demigod who represents fire. Similarly, month for us is just something that changes on the calendar, right? But in actuality, in reality, a month is actually represented by a person. Yeah. Chaitra, Vaishaka, yeah. Jeshta, Ashada, Shravana, Bhadrapada, Asvayuja, yeah, Kartika, Pushya, Magha, Falguna. These are all the different months. And all these months are not just some dates or numericals on the calendar, they are personifications. There are persons who represent each of this masa. So, similarly, this extra month, which was then called Malamasa, was actually a personified a person, a demigod. So, but then it was considered very inauspicious. Yeah, just now, as I have told you, in the current situation also, you might check with any priests that you know. You ask them for a muhurta for this whole month, they won't give you any muhurta. Yeah. So why? It is considered very inauspicious to perform any religious activity. So everybody is rejecting. Adhika maas, Malamas, no. Not fit to perform any ritualist, any religious activity. So everybody was rejecting it. Yeah. So when it was everybody is rejecting it, this Malamas went and approached Vaikuntapati, Lord Narayana. Yeah. So this is the nature of Suras. You know, there are two classes of people, Suras and Asuras. Suras, or the demigods, or the divine people, or people with divine nature, are those who, whenever they are face to face with difficulties, face to face with dejection, face to face with rejection, or with any pain or grief in their life, the first thing they do is they take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Yeah, that is why they're Suras. Yeah. So, so that is why Lord Krishna is also called Sureshwara, yeah, the Lord of the demigods. So this Malamas went and approached Lord Narayana and expressed his grief. It's grief. Yeah, sheep actually, all the months are sheep. So she said that, this is how I've been rejected by everybody, and everybody considers to me very inauspicious, and I'm feeling very pained. Please. And it fell at the feet of the Lord and said, please protect me. Please show me your mercy. Begged. So Lord Narayana at that time, he takes this showing compassion. He takes the Adhik Maas all the way and he goes to Goloka. And he meets her with Lord Krishna himself in the Goloka Vrindavan, the spiritual world. Then when Krishna hears about the agony of Adhik Maas, Krishna is a bestower of all good fortune to anybody who comes to him. He is so compassionate. As Lord Ram, he was so compassionate that he was willing to give, he was willing to forgive even Ravana, who was such an offender, who has taken away Mother Sita. Yeah. Lord Ram was willing to forgive him if he surrendered to him. And he was willing to give his own kingdom, Ayodhya, for Ravana to rule. Yeah. So this is a beautiful pastime, actually, what happens, at the banks of Kanyakumari, near Kanyakumari. Yeah. Because at that time, Vibhishana comes and surrenders to Lord Ram. And Lord Ram actually performs Rajyabhisheka to Vibhishana on the spot. Yeah. So at that time, Ram's associates ask him, you have performed this Abhishek and you have enthroned Vibhishana as the king of Lanka. What if Ravana surrenders to you? Then Ram said, I will make Ravana the king of Lanka. The king of Ayodhya. I will give him my own throne if he surrenders to me. Then they asked, then what will you do to Bharata? So he said, I will make Bharata the king of the spiritual world, and I will become the servant of all the three. Yeah. So the Supreme Lord is so merciful, so compassionate that he's waiting and willing to share his own domain with all the living entities. Nathena Purushottame Trijagatam Ekadipe Chetasa Sevye swasya padasya dhatari pare narayane tishtati. Yeah, the Lord is waiting to share his personal domain with everybody. Yeah. But unfortunately, the living entities, for meager, yam kinchit purushattamam katipaye gramesha malparthadam sevyaye nigayamahenaram aho mudha varakavayam. The living entities are so foolish that for meager, for paltry gains, they're going around and serving, gramesham, that is like lords of villages, small places. Maybe a CEO of this company or that company. Yeah, for paltry gains. When actually the Lord is just waiting to share his own domain, that is his own spiritual world with everyone. By what? Simply by worshipping him through one's mind. Yeah. So that's how the Lord is ever willing to share his own opulences, his own joy, his own love, his domain, his abode, everything he wants to share with the living entities. But the living entities, unfortunately, forgetfulness of the Lord, are always in the mood of rebellion, not wanting to surrender, always having some excuse to pass the days in vain. So in this way, when Adhik Maas went and approached Lord Krishna, as introduced by Vaikuntapati, Lord Narayana, he said, do not lament. I shall give you protection from all of your miseries. Stop crying. Yeah. And it is not proper to lament after taking shelter of my lotus feet. Anybody who takes the shelter of lotus feet of Krishna, yeah, there is nothing to lament, there is nothing to fear. Bhajahure mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravindara. Yeah, Abhaya Charanaravindara. Anybody who takes the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna becomes fearless. They become free from all miseries. Yeah. So Lord Purushottama, Lord Krishna himself, yeah, he said, do not worry, do not cry. I am there for you. And he said, can you imagine what benedictions Lord Krishna gave to this Malamas? Until then it was rejected. Until then it was considered inauspicious. It was called Malamasa. Please look at the name also given to it. Yeah, Malamasa. Mala, something very, very derogatory term. Yeah, nobody likes to be named Mala, but it was called Malamasa. Then he took shelter of the Vaikuntapati, Lord Narayan. He brought Malamasa to Lord Krishna. He gave benedictions. He showered his benedictions. And do you know what he said? I will make you just like me in quality. You cannot imagine what Krishna is awaiting to give anybody who takes shelter of him. Yeah. So oftentimes, but we go to the Lord for asking for, small petty things. It is like, it is said in one of the books, and it is going and asking Krishna for some things like money or job is like going to a king and asking him for some brinjals and peanuts. Yeah. So the Lord, just imagine, what did Adhik Maas do? Malamas do? It just expressed its grief, pain, and took shelter sincerely. And what did Krishna do? He said, I shall make you just like me in quality, fame, opulence, realization, success, and in giving benediction to the devotees. What an empowerment. Yeah. He said, you will become like me in quality. As famous as me. You'll get all opulence like me, all success, and you'll be as powerful as me in giving benediction to devotees. Yeah, and you will become as potent as me. Yeah, and I'm giving you all these divine qualities, and you will also be named after me, Purushottama Maas. Yeah, so in this way, Malamasa, the contaminated month, which is considered inauspicious, has become Purushottama Masa. Purusha Uttama. Purushottama is who? Lord Krishna himself. Yo mameva masammoho janati Purushottamam sasarva vidbhajati mam satabhamena bharata. This is whoever knows Krishna himself to be the Purushottama, yomam evam asambhuro, without any doubt, janati Purushottamam, sasarva vid bhajati mam, such a person will always worship Krishna. Sadha bhavena, with lot of devotion. So in this way, the Purushottama maas, what was once Malla maas, or the rejected month, the month that has been looked down upon, was considered inauspicious, inglorious, by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, has become glorious, has become Purushottama maas, which is observed with such, all the spiritualists worship this month. When this month comes, they all become active to perform more and more spiritual activities. So much this month is worshipped. It is said that it is the potency of all other months is just about 1/16 of the potency of the Purushottama maas. That is how glorious this Purushottama maas is. So that was what has been said here. So now the next section is, how do we observe Purushottama maas? What do we do? Okay, now that we understood, this is the history of the Purushottama, the significance. The significance is the Lord himself has advised his pure devotees to observe the Purushottama maas. That's the significance. The history, we've just seen the history, how the Malla maas has become Purushottama maas by taking shelter of Lord Krishna. So now, how do we observe the Purushottama maas? So the scriptures have given different injunctions or recommendations. And this, as delineated by Srila Prabhupada, there are some things, some tips. So basically, the idea is this month has to be increased has to be utilized to increase or enhance one's bhajana. Adhik maas means adhik, maximize what your spiritual practices, like taking a holy bath in river, Mother Ganga. So it is ideal if we can get to take bath in the river Ganga. If you are unable to take bath in Mother Ganga or any holy river, at least every day while taking bath, you should invoke the presence of the rivers. Gange cha Yamune cha Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalosmin Sannidhim Kuru. This is the invocation mantra to invite all the holy rivers. And you imagining that they are right here, while you're bathing, thinking that waters are the waters of the rivers. You take a bath, it's equally as purifying. Okay, so these are some things, tips how to observe Purushottama maas. Wake up before sunrise and attend Mangalarti. If anybody has a temple close by where Mangalarti is performed, it's such a benediction. Make the best of it. Attend Mangalarti. Then perform Tulsi Puja and Parikrama. The best. If you're really fortunate, if you're close to a temple, because all these things are taken care of. You just have to go to the temple with your bead bag. Everything else is taken care. Perform Tulsi Puja and Parikrama. So worship of Tulsi is very, very auspicious during this month. If you have a Tulsi pot at home, please, every evening or every morning, offer a diya, offer jala, and of parikrama, circumambulate around Tulsi Rani. This is all a part of our Indian culture. But during this month, make special effort to do this on a daily basis. We cannot estimate what amount of spiritual credits we earn by simply doing the small things, offering one lamp of Tulsi to Tulsi every day, just circumambulating her, or just offering a few drops of water to her, and offering obeisances to her. There is only one prayer one needs to offer to Tulsi Rani, to bless us with Krishna Bhakti. Vrindyaye Tulsi Devyay Priyaye Keshavasija Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo Namah. She is Krishna Prema Pradhaini, Tulsi Devi. One should only beg for Krishna Bhakti from Tulsi Rani. Chant Japa. especially in the Brahma Muhurta time, wake up early and chant your prescribed number of rounds, and if possible, extra rounds. So, there is no yajna that is greater than japa yajna. That is why in Gita, Lord Krishna himself says, Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Of all the yajnas, I am the japa yajna. That means that's the best yajna you can perform. Maybe so many yajnas around, but japa yajna is the highest form of yajna, and it is the yuga dharma, and it is very powerful, especially when we chant some extra rounds during this month of Purushottama. Some people take vows that apart from the prescribed rounds, I will chant, 2 more rounds or 4 more rounds, whatever is you can align with your routine. Then take Ganga bath, as I have said. If you're unable to go to Mother Ganga, at least in your mind, there is this beautiful ashtakam that glorifies Mother Ganga. Remember her or glorify her in some way, and invoke her presence where you are. Then offering flowers to Lord Krishna. Actually, there's something called Shodasa Upacharas in the deity worship. And one of the upachara is to offer flowers. You can pluck beautiful flowers. There's a time where there are very, very beautiful flowers that bloom, blossom. Yeah, and make nice garlands and offer to Lord Krishna. So basically, in the Purushottama Masa, worship of Radha and Krishna is considered to be the topmost. Yeah. So offer those flowers to Lord Krishna. Offer tulasi, especially manjaris, the tender manjaris. Yeah, in manjaris, we have that hard manjaris and the tender, just now the manjaris which are coming. You can offer the manjaris to them. Yeah, participate in Sandhya. There are Sandhya Aratis, other Aratis. And one more thing which all of us can do, every day, just like in the month of Kartik, we offer ghee lamp to the Lord. In Purushottama Mass also, everybody offers ghee lamp to the deities, to the Lord. Okay, every Avuneti Deepam, yeah, every day you can offer to the Lord. This is also very, very wonderful. Yeah, even if you're unable to follow many things, just choose few things. Daily offering water to Tulsi Rani, offering ghee lamp to the Lord, yeah, and chanting some extra rounds. That's all. Yeah, and attending Bhagavatam class, hearing. Actually, Purushottama Mass, especially this whole Chaturmasya period and the Purushottama Mass, are meant to be time periods wherein one is recommended to absorb oneself in hearing about the glories of the Lord. Yeah, Purushottama. Yeah, just go to some nearby temple, or there are so many lectures that are available on the net. Yeah, best is if you can attend live. If you're unable to attend live, at least you can take help of somebody who can guide you in whom to hear from, and hear more about Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, the Amalam Purana. So auspicious to read in this month of Purush. You can read certain specific sections of Bhagavatam, or you can read some prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam, like prayers of Queen Kunti, prayers of Lord Shiva, prayers of Vedas personified. Yeah, there's so many. Bhagavatam is filled with prayers. There's Bhishma Stuti. Yeah. So innumerable prayers are there. Prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, prayers of Dhruva Maharaj. Yeah, there's so many prayers. Bhagavatam is filled with prayers. So you can read them. Any chosen. Then read more about Krishna. Like some of you, I think last time who have attended the session have one Krishna book as a gift. Now is the time that every night before you sleep, read the Krishna book. Yeah. And especially in this month, one recommendation is what every devotee does is compulsory. They read the Purushottama Yoga, chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita. If you can actually by heart this entire 15 chapter. It's very short. Within no time you can grasp. At least start with few shlokas. If you know it kanthastha, you don't even need a book, while you're traveling or while you're awake or in your, before, when you wake up, anytime, or when you're fresh, you just close your eyes and recite all these verses, or sit in front of the Lord at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is very, very auspicious. Sandhya Kal. At that time also you can just open the book and recite these verses of the 15th chapter of the Gita. Yeah. Participate in preaching programs, attend programs, or you yourself be active in preaching. So whenever Krishna is most pleased when this gift of bhakti is shared with others. Preaching is nothing but sharing the gift that you have received out of happiness and out of gratitude. It's not that one person is sitting at one place and waxing eloquent philosophy. That's not preaching. Preaching is simply sharing what you have received out of gratitude to the teacher from whom you have received, and out of happiness and love to share with the people who are around you. That's preaching. So whatever you have received, just share it with others. You can say even at your home, mummy is there, dad is there, or somebody is there. You can just take your book of Gita and say, please come and sit with me. Let us read Gita together. And you can read Gita together. That's also preaching. So in this month, make some effort to share what we have received. That's participating. Then offering this Shodasha Opachara, this is like a little advanced form of BP worship, Vigraha Aradhana or Archana. So that can be practiced under the guidance of a mentor. Then attend or organize home programs. So during this month, you can invite some devotees home and feed them nice prasadam. Yeah. Or cook prasadam and give it to devotees, or at least sponsor prasadam. Any charity that is performed during this month is also very, very auspicious, especially charity given to the Brahmanas, to the devotees. Yeah. Then participate in Harinam. There are Harinam Sankirtans that are going on. What is Harinam Sankirtan? The holy name, you're just sharing, you're spreading the bliss of spiritual life to others, free of cost. Yeah, it's the greatest welfare activity that can ever be performed. Harinam Sankirtan. Yeah. Then distribute books, perform Vaishnava Seva. Yeah. It's called Vaishnava Seva, is called Paramasiddhi, Prema Latikara Mula. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in his bhajan, Vaishnava Seva is Paramasiddhi. That is, out of all the siddhis, the highest siddhi is Vaishnava Seva. So auspicious. If you do get an opportunity, make the best. If you don't get the opportunity, bring an opportunity. Yeah. Make that opportunity for yourself, where you can serve some Vaishnava. Perform temple seva, do some service to the temple by giving charity or understanding what is the need and extending yourself. Small things like cleaning the pots of the deity kitchen, or cooking something for the Lord, offering a small donation, or temple mundo, just put a rangoli. Even that is such a seva for the Lord. Yeah, this is the Lord. This is the temple of my dear Lord, and there are his devotees are entering in. Let me just put a rangoli. When you're all doing this in this bhava, it is such a great service. Yeah, attend or organize bhajans or sanghas. Yeah, if you're staying at a home or at a room, if you can, then definitely, you organize so many parties. We organize so many kitty parties or get-togethers at home, right? So think a little differently. For this Purushottama mass, organize, just call people around your home and organize some kind of a meeting, a sangha, yeah, and together read Gita or the 15th chapter recitation. Yeah, you can organize that for yourself. Or you can sing a nice Krishna bhajans, anything in the worship of the Lord with devotion. So sangha is very, very powerful, very powerful. It's something about sangha that is, the dynamics of it, which really impacts the heart such a deep level. So I have just given you the list of so many things to do, how to observe Purushottama mass. So you can choose what you wish to do, all or some or at least few. So this is how to observe the Purushottama mass. Next. Yeah, so Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there's a beautiful article that has been written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. about how to observe the recommendations for devotees to observe the Purushottama maas. And yeah. So basically, here are some special months. Then this Purushottama maas, Vaishakha maas, and the Kartik months are specially occasions manifested particularly to give mercy to non-devotees. Okay, this is like a time which is like a sale, grand sale, this bonanza sale, where so much is mercy is just given. So Srila Prabhupada actually says that, for a devotee, every day is in fact a day for worshipping Krishna. So for people who are not so much into Krishna consciousness, yes, it's an indirect incentive, to do something special and more this time. But as such, for a devotee who is totally sold out to Krishna consciousness or Krishna bhakti, every moment is Kartika. So that is Krishna consciousness. But nonetheless, we are not at that level of being completely Krishna conscious all through 24/7 and 365 days. We have to make the best of the special opportunities and get those brownie points. Okay, so for those who are already customers, there is no need of special sale. So the whole idea is, you can actually put a weekly checklist of like this, and it's a self-assessment of what you wish to do. You can make a Excel sheet this way. So basically, whatever, there is a formula in management. What gets measured gets managed. That is why we chant a prescribed number of rounds. We count them. Sankhya purvaka nama dana nativi kalavasani krito. Sankhya purvaka. Even the Shad Goswamis, who are such pure devotees, elevated devotees of the Lord, they are at a very high level of devotion, but even they kept a record of the number of rounds they chanted, Sankhya Purvaka. Why? Just simply because what gets measured gets managed. So keep a checklist, if possible, keep a measure of what you're doing, what are the additional things you're doing. Then the outcome is inspires you and people around. Okay, so basically the total recommendation is perform additional services, increase chanting, hearing, reading, worship, and preaching. These are the things that one has to increase in this month. It's a very special concession to attract new customers. So what has been recommended by Lord Krishna himself in Padma Purana? So let us see this. There are few. First, number one is worshipping him. How to worship him, I have just explained, either reading about him, hearing about his glory in Srimad Bhagavatam, reciting the Purushottama, Yoga, chapter 15. Second is chanting his holy names, studying Bhagavatam, offering ghee lamp, giving in charity. So all these are the ways that has been mentioned in the Padma Purana as to how to observe Purushottama maas. So simply by attending morning program, actually many of these things are taken care. So that is, it is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada is that within the morning program, he packed so many things. There are 64 items of devotional service as mentioned in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Simply by following the entire morning program, almost 50 of them are covered. Simply by attending the morning program in the temple. So if you're situated close to an ISKCON center, please make the best of it by attending at least one more morning program, at least during special days like Ekadashis. And take benefit. So chanting extra rounds and Ganga Snan. So these are the Shodasha Upacharas, the details. It's a general, Okay. So these are all specifically for those devotees who are fixed up. This is Tulsi Aarti and Vaishnava Seva. So this is just an example of what is to be done. Devotee care and Vaishnava Seva. Very, very important. Yeah. Yeah. So what are the final, this is the final session. I will end with this. What are the benefits of observing the Purushottama Vrata? Yeah. So person who observes the Purushottama Vrata, please hear carefully and attentively. All the holy places in the world come to reside in your body. That is how purified and glorified you become. For a person who strictly observes the Purushottama Vrata. And it is also said, one who observes Purushottama month with faith and devotion will go back home to serve Radha Govinda eternally in Golok Vrindavan at the end of his life. It's very, very lucrative. So one should understand, I mean, first of all, one should understand what is this goal? What is the glory of this goal? Yeah, after understanding the glory of this goal, I think that will motivate one to observe the Purushottama mass. But if you observe it with that faith, yeah, the faith will come when you understand what is the glory of the goal. Yeah, with faith and devotion, yeah, will go back home. Yeah, they will go to the eternal spiritual world from where they have come to live in a life of eternal bliss. Yeah, in the Swarupa, one's original position. So this is the benefits of observing Purushottama mass. Yeah. So there are some prayers and yeah. So there's some prayers and certain specific bhajans and kirtans that are recited during this month. I will share this in the group. And please be active in the group. Whatever is shared in the group, you can practice them, you can sing them, you can recite them, and anything, any help that you need, you can always post your queries. We're always here to help you. So I wish you all very, very successful, very, very happy and very fruitful Purushottama mass, and where you follow whatever you can in your, to the best of your capacity, and attract the mercy of Purushottama, the Supreme Lord. Thank you all very much. I will end my session here. I will just summarize what I have spoken. Today, on the topic of the glories of Purushottama mass, we have studied about what is the significance of Purushottama mass, the history of the Purushottama mass, how to observe Purushottama mass, and the benefits of observing Purushottama mass. So these are the 4 things that we have covered. And I hope this presentation has helped you. And if it did, I will consider it successful. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions? I can take 1 or 2. Does anybody has any questions or comments? Haribol Manasdeep, so happy to see you. Yeah, Geelong. Okay, basically, I'm sure not many questions would be there. Yes, Prayasi Dandavat. Thank you too. Thank you all. Thank you all for attending. It was quite a bit of enthusiastic participation. I totally appreciate. And I hope this presentation has helped you in some way. So we will stay in touch. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Shravya Shri has attended. Very nice. Hari Bol. Yeah, you can end the recording, Shravya.